So we're back with TBATE 195. And where we left off, Cirrus just spotted Arthur. And Arthur was shook because of it. I would feel the exact same way. He compared her to a hurricane and him as an ant in terms of power. Yeah, I'll be shivering and quivering in my boots. And what's really funny is that some of her subordinates are like, yo, what is she looking at? And she doesn't say a damn thing. Arthur is over here hoping that he didn't get spotted and is moving the rock behind the walls. And then we got baby girl just serving face right here. You know what I'm saying? I know the fandom loves Cirrus, but it's looking like the artist loves Cirrus just as much. He giving her too many good shots. She literally does nothing but just smirks and just starts to walk away. As if she was kind of unfazed that he was there spying on her. And she just goes off into her little cavern. But do y'all see what I'm talking about with these shots? He just loves giving her aura. She deserves it though. Sylvia's like, yo, should we go? Should we dip? Arthur's like, no, we're gonna just walk out of here low key. And she's like, but you really can't walk, G? He was like, I don't think she fully recognized this yet because we have Mirage walk on and I'm gonna just keep walking so I can't be detected until my mana runs out. And then after that point, yeah, skedaddle me out of here. Sylvie's being, the protective person that she is. And she's like, all right, cool. I'll rock with it until then. Then we pan back to a shot of the floating castle. And we get this shot of, who is it? Is it Arthur's little sister standing there? And sure enough, it definitely is. Alder is like, hey, lady, I'm gonna need you to come out here. All the expected soldiers have been accounted for. If you're waiting for a level, please, get back to the teleporter. That's where they're gonna be coming. Ellie's like, nah, I'm waiting for my brother. And I'm gonna make sure I'm not in anybody's way. And old boy got a little curious. And he asked her, who's your brother? I ain't gonna lie, Ellie had a little aura here. She was like, his name was Arthur Lewin. Don't they look just alike? She just got that different hair. She got her mother's hair and he got the dad's hair. And he just about shit himself hearing those words. He was like, yeah, I definitely see the resemblance. Ellie's making a little small talk. She's like, were you stationed with him? He really didn't answer. And he was like, if he's your brother, that's all the more reason to wait inside. He's the reason the medics are here. And then Boo pops up. When she senses a little danger, my man Boo gonna pop up. But Alder didn't notice it. And as soon as he turned around, he got spooked. And you can tell Alder really is not messing with the Lewin family. They're saying that they don't got no respect. Then we get Arthur's sister and Boo mocking him as he goes away. But shortly after, Ellie notices, this seems to be a lot of medics here. But she's like, I think Arthur's fine. He's just as stubborn as he is strong. He'll come back standing. Then we get a shot of Sylvie flying through the sky and rushing right into the flying castle. And when she gets in there, we see Arthur basically in shambles. He ain't looking too good. Ellie not having it. She ain't never really seen him like that before. The medics get there and they're like, okay, is this the newest Lance? Alder didn't mention he was going to be unconscious. They was taking a sweet ass time and Sylvie's like, yo, this ain't time for that. She breaks her silence and actually talks, revealing that she can talk. She told him that he's been unconscious for about 4 minutes and hey, his mana core is depleted. She also lets him know he's lost control of both of his legs and has suffered serious chemical burns. Ellie's shocked that Sylvie can speak. And Sylvie's like, you need to prioritize his mana core and his blood transfusion. They were still moving too slow and Sylvie screamed now. Hey, if we know one thing about Sylvie, she gonna ride for her papa Arthur. They were still moving a little too slow and Ellie said, you heard her, hurry. Ellie too, they about that when it comes to their brother. They get Arthur all taken care of and he wakes up. Find out he's been sleeping for 2 days straight. And basically said, hey, yo, we haven't finished patching you up yet. We needed you awake to get your permission to go further with this procedure. And this is where we find out the extent of Arthur's injuries. And basically the only reason he has survived is because he's assimilated to his Dragon Will core and the fact that his core is at such a high level. They're surprised that he even has this much spunk. They let him know that most of his injuries are on his lower body. And that's basically because he was using Burst Step against the retainer. They basically said that they're going to have to re-break all his bones and tear his tissues in very small increments to heal back. And that it's going to take quite a while for him to fully recover. And he needs to do this if he wants to use his legs without infusing them with mana. Arthur agrees to the situation because otherwise, how is he going to fight properly against a retainer, let alone a scythe? The doctor starts closing the window so they can start the procedure. Sylvie notices that Ellie and Boo are out there watching, but she notices somebody's hair just happens to walk past. And sure enough, it's exactly who we thought it was. It's Tess. And this is where the chapter ends. This was a solid chapter. Now we see the consequences for Arthur and what happens after he fights a retainer. And basically we see that he's going to have to get a lot stronger if he's going to be fighting him on a consistent basis. Because if he fights one like that, it's going to be taking him out of commission for quite a while. But let me know what y'all thought about the chapter.